TCM.com/festival.
Well, look who's back, Amy Heckerling. We're going to talk about mainstream movies then.
Yay.
This is this golden era where you're making $100 million. We finally made it.
You know, when I was first doing Fast Times, I felt like I was this strange little object that people were kind of like curious about, like, why is the girl here? By like the mid-90s, when you'd be talking to the crew and they'd be saying about what other projects they were on, you'd find that most of them had worked with a woman at some point. Like, that was not this strange, weird thing, that everybody had some experience working with women directors.
Yeah, this for me is an interesting time because it's this bridging of independent films within a studio system environment.
Yeah.
You were given an opportunity because you were a talented filmmaker. Well, the first movie we're going to talk about, A League of Their Own, and director Penny Marshall. And here's someone who's an actress transitioning into directing. And I find that throughout watching all of the different films that we've watched, a lot of actresses, I mean, going back to, you know, Lillian Gish was directing. So it seems like you were around it, and it doesn't seem
that hard.
Yeah. Truthfully, I feel sometimes like that men impose on women that they don't, technical things of the camera. It's way too complicated for you to understand.
Well, there was a situation when I was at the American Film Institute. They started this program, the Women's Workshop for Filmmaking, and they had famous women. They had Marilyn Bergman, who was a famous composer. They had Diane Cannon, who was a famous actress, and Anne Bancroft. And they were going to have these women direct films because they figured these famous women will have a better shot at becoming directors. And so why not train them? And that would help all women.
Interesting.
Yeah, interesting.
And Penny Marshall, she directed a beautiful film called Awakenings, Big, which is just a fantastic comedy. This is her second film with Tom Hanks. I think it's interesting for me watching Geena Davis in the movie. She had done Thelma and Louise, which, even though it's directed by a man, it's kind of thought of as a woman's film, female bonding film. So that Geena Davis was like a big, strong.
Yeah, I mean, when you think strong woman, physically or anything else, you think Geena Davis.
And also, this is a studio film. We were talking before about you being a bridge. Now we have a big studio film where there was time. She sent the girls, they went into training. They had to learn how to play baseball. They were away on location. You were away sometimes. You know, this is a period where I'm now working in movies too, where you had time to work on a script, to develop, your relationships with the script. You had time to fix the script.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
I mean, this was a big Hollywood movie. This had big Hollywood stars and, time to develop, time to send people for training, but that's not necessarily always the norm. She had sort of come up out of the, female ghetto and was, a A-list Hollywood director at this point, and had the biggest star, Tom Hanks, and all these wonderful other stars. So this is a big mainstream studio movie.
I think it's interesting with it, just a little, for me, watching it with Tom Hanks, that they did the film Big together, which really makes him a star. And this film, this is the Tom Hanks we come to love. It's a great part for him, and the chemistry between he and Geena Davis is fantastic. Also, of course, supporting players, Madonna, Rosie O'Donnell, Lori Petty.
Jon Lovitz.
Jon Lovitz.
Brilliant, hilarious.
Yes.
She knows how to make funny characters and how to bring that out in people.
Yes, this represents, for me, again, a golden age, and women are making big budget, big studio films. So from director Penny Marshall in 1992, here are Geena Davis and Tom Hanks in A League of Their Own.